We're going to start with a ghoulie called Scarface Fracture. What it is a victim that's got a scar up here, one down here exposing his teeth, and then an extra piece that ends up being for the arm. So let's get started. Okay, first we take the ghoulie out of the box and place it on the face. Now, it goes about halfway across, starting about the midpoint of the lip and working back. And what I want to do is then trace it so that I know where I'm going to be latexing it down. And then I want to go ahead and place the other portion above the eye. And this one's best to put right over the top of the eyebrow. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and take latex and put it on those portions that we've outlined. Start with the mouth section. I want to be sure, open your mouth. I want to be sure to get it down on the lip, because in this piece, when he talks, you want the ghoulie to stay adhered so that it looks like the gash is his teeth. About 2 coats. And then we'll let it dry. And we'll go for the upper portion. Now on this piece you're going up near the hairline, so you need to watch that so that you don't get it in the hair. Also, when you get down to the brow, you'll have to work around and just put the latex up underneath. And in this particular piece, it is so flat that you can go ahead and fill in everywhere that you don't have hair. You'll get a better grip with the latex this way. Now what I want to do is wait about 3 minutes for that to dry, and then we'll adhere the ghoulie. While it's drying, we'll go ahead and put latex on the ghoulie itself. there. Now that we have it on both pieces, we'll go ahead and let this dry for about 3 minutes and we'll be ready to apply. Okay, now that we've waited 3 minutes, we'll go ahead and apply the gouache. Start with the top. Set it right inside the line that we've drawn. Down over the eye, brow. Stretching it out to the outside, and pressing it in. And then down up underneath the brow. Mouth section. Lay it right on the lip. Close on it. Press it into position. Now, while that's set in there, we'll want to run latex around the edge. This will help adhere it and thin it out along the edge line. Do the same up here on the top. Again, anywhere that you're right at the hairline, you'll have to avoid putting latex. Okay, we'll wait about 3 minutes on that, 3 to 5 minutes for it to completely dry, and then we'll start applying the makeup. Now we're ready for the makeup. What we'll do is we'll put a base coat of flesh, medium flesh, with a sponge over the entire gouache and on the face portion. We'll draw it on off because we want to keep the color consistent. Now I don't have to go completely over the entire face because I'll blend some bruising to give it the effect I want. Now part of this area will be bloody, so I don't really need to go too much flush down in there. But where the edge of the ghoulie meets the face, that's where I want the flush to be. And I can come back and put flush on with my brush once I get going. Close. Okay, now that I have my base coat on, that's as much as I need to do on the base coat. Now I can take a small brush and black. And I go black into all the little cracks and crevices. I'll start right here on the mouth. This is where the lip has been torn away. My teeth are down in here, and I'll take the brush and go in between each tooth. Now, where it's split down in here where his skin is underneath, I want to paint that out black so that it looks like you're seeing into his mouth. And his lip underneath I will also do black. I just need to rub this in to all the little cracks. You don't have to really blend it much. I'll do that when I come back with another color. Let's do the black up on top also. Let me finish up right here. Okay, now that I have all the black in, I'll go with red. And the red and the black will mix and give me a purple or a purple, black and blue look, almost like a bruising. Now in this scar area, I'll go to the middle with it and put more red. On the side, I'll mix it up with the black, and that'll give me that deep purple bruised look. And then I'll come down this line here where we've got an open gash. That's about as much in the wound as I want to go, right in there. I'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing down here. Now I want to stay away from the teeth because ultimately I want those to be white. But I'll go just below them and mix all that black with the red. Creating the scarring. open cut that there is. I can kind of taper this on down. I'll blend it with some flesh in a moment. Now the rest of what I'm going to do on this is blending the black and blue with a sponge to hide the appliance. And what I get is some bruising happening. Obviously, if he's gotten hit up here in the head, he's probably got a black eye. So we'll start with just a touch of black, and really just a touch. Wipe it off, close your eye, and come up onto the appliance and work my way down. And then down on his cheek. Now, this is going to give the effect of a bruised or black eye, but I'm also using it to hide the edge of the appliance. Now, his nose would probably get a little bruised, so I'll come down on it a little bit. Now right now, as you can see, it's looking a little too dark, which is fine, and that's the start of it. Then we'll take a little red, and we'll rub that across it. Now this is what ultimately gives it that purplish bruised look. You just kind of wisp it across the black. It'll mix in there. I might taper it on down into the side of his cheek, also picking up the side of the appliance here, and then back towards the ear. I can taper it on off so that it's got this bruised look without being too geometrical. It's a little more abstract down in here. Come down. Okay, same thing. Need to go up across his forehead and catch the edge of the appliance. A little black and a little red. I can work it up into the scalp so it looks like he's bruised up in there, and then taper it off with a stippling effect, just dabbing, and that'll taper it off into the forehead, leaving like a highlight right in this area. I'll taper it. And then back across the back, a little more bruising, and down on the appliance itself. Now I have a little blue here. I'll go ahead and put a little blue in it, which gives it a little shadowing effect without getting too dark. Stippling again. Highlighted this area, or darkened this area. I may need a little bit more red coming out of that. Like that. Now, down here on his lip, we figure he has a fat lip. Let's go ahead and go a little red there. And he's going to have a little blood, which ends up being the red. Now, a little of the black or blue up underneath where it's shadowed and it's bruising, and we can taper that up. We can also go down across where the appliance goes straight down. We can go across at this angle and create the bruise on his chin, which is on the good side, leaving the appliance as the bad side. So now we're creating that bruised lip look and connecting the appliance to the face at the same time. Highlight the red on top, go with the blue or black underneath. That will shadow it out and make it look like it's extended. We get this fat look right here. We want to do the same thing, upper lip. Now you can see his lip line is right along here. I want to enhance that just a little bit. Maybe stipple it, and then come across darker on this side and go up under to make it look like he's lost part of the lip. Then on top, the bruise. Again, this is going to bruise under his nose and back in where the appliance is connected. darken it up under the eye. We won't go all the way up to the eye because we've done that over here, but we'll bruise his cheek here. So this area, maybe a little red, and then that blue or black along the edge of the appliance will give us that bruised look. And on his cheekbone over here. Now, we're going to want to tone that down just a bit. What I'll do is take a little flesh and go into that. With the flesh, I'll blend it into the black and blue and work it on down into his face. So, work the area through here, toning it down just a little bit, picking up that extra dark that I've got there, and work it up here, shadowing it as I go. Stipple it towards the eye. It will go a little more flush towards the eye. Flush down on the piece, and then flush down off the piece. That way it's going darker in here, hiding the edge of the appliance, and then going to flush on down. And then we'll raise it up here with flesh and blend the two together so that I have a flesh highlight in this area. Okay, now I want to continue this flesh down here where I have this, what ends up being a little too much of a bob. I'll go to the edge of that and tone the edge down. Then I get more of just a little bit of a bruising, and then up here I go from the bruising effect that I have stippled so that it goes into his face color. Maybe across the top of the appliance here you'll get a little bit of a stippled bruise. Now I'm going to go back down to the side of his face over here, and I still have this line, and I want to drop this out so that this becomes more prominent. So again, I'll go with a little bit of blue along the edge, bruising the edge of it, and then up underneath, and I'll bruise down onto his neck. Down this way. A little red to mix with it, that gives us that purplish color. And red on off this way as it's bruised. Now, coming back again, cleaning that up with the flesh tone. Just toning it down just a little bit. Keep that bruise where it's covering up the appliance, but evening it out everywhere else so that the bruise kind of tapers back into his face. And now, one of the steps to finish this up will be taking the flesh and a small brush, and I want to go in and get more of the flesh tone in there so that it's not too splotchy. This will mix a little bit with the red, which is fine because you're going to have the blood kind of mixing in there. So you can see how We haven't done anything to the teeth yet, but they are starting to stand out. And the only thing we'll really do is do white on top of them. And that really takes care of the flesh tone, getting it all worked in. One of my final steps then will be to put fake blood on. Let's go ahead and put the teeth in there with some white. I'll have to clean off my brush real good. And then we'll add the white in. And just a little bit of white across each of the teeth. This just helps punch them out even more. And perhaps a little black to go back in the crevice to show the division. Okay, now the final step is to put on the fake blood, and this really is what will make this come to life or shine, or however you want to perceive it. Well, this is kind of brushed on and blended. It can go right at the base of the teeth. Gives it that shine. Then we'll go up here and go inside. And I go right around the base of this appliance. And then you might go ahead and put a little bit more on and let it drip. You get a good effect letting it go on down like that. And then over here, well, here it goes, it's starting to drip now. Now, if he gives a look, maybe looking up to one side like he's hurt, he can open his mouth just a little bit. Oh, then we have the effect that we're looking for. This puppy's in pain.